Good morning, everyone. Auntie Mons, this is a tough one. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to us to celebrate the life of Monica Rufina Assevero. Mons, Nana, many different names, and sobriquet. The life of the party, she had many sobriquets. I have a few things that I was given to read. First of all, I would like to start with one of the prayer that she liked. She was a firm believer in the Virgin Mary. She was also a mother, and she always loved the Magnificat. So I'll start saying that with this prayer, the Magnificat, and then we'll go on accordingly. My soul doth magnify the Lord, and my spirit rejoice in God my Savior. For he hath regard the humility of his handmaiden. For behold, henceforth, all generations shall call me blessed. For he who is mighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. And his mercies from generation unto generation for them who fear him. He has shown might with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the conceit of their hearts. He has put down the mighty from their thrones and exalted the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he sent away empty. He has received his servant Israel, being mindful of his mercy, as he spoke to our fathers, to Abraham, and his seeds forever. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Okay, let's start. Monica R. Assevero was 79. She passed away on April 7th, 2024. She was born on February 28, 1945 in Temple Street, Trinidad and Tobago. To James Isaiah Guy and Florence Cecilia Liverpool during Carnival time. That's why she loved Carnival and was a party animal. So you understand why she was who she was. She was very proud of it, and she is preceded in death by her husband, Uncle Garfield P. Assevero, also known as Uncle Waxy. The Dapper Dan. That's why I say let me try to address to impress, to remember him and her. They were, in my day, I used to call them the power couple of dressing. They cut a beautiful figure, both dressing and on the dance floor. If you guys know them as we knew when we were kids, you know what we were speaking about. Monica was affectionately called Mons, Ma, or Nana, depending on who you were speaking to. She came from a very large family and was the youngest of the daughters. Monica was a hairdresser by trade and grew in her community with serving everyone out of her home salon. A few years after her husband came to the United States, Auntie Mons joined him. No, wrong, don't do that yet. Sorry about that, somebody's calling at the wrong time. Monica was where she was one of the most respected nannies in Manhattan and earned a certificate as a baby nurse. During her journeys, Mon has a bright spirit, a fierce attitude, and also a very sharp tongue for those who crossed her family. She was a fierce defender of her family and took pride in her appearance. She loved her stilettos, jewelry, and many fashionable looks. Monica had a big heart and was always looking out for others. She is survived by her sons, Showen and his wife Alicia, Lincoln and his wife Michelle, her daughter Alette and her son-in-law who was like a son, Dejon, brother Harold, grandchildren Devon, Delia, Abiel, Ethita, Nicolette, Jonathan, Anisha, Vernon, Rain, Isaiah, and Cheyenne. Her great-grandchildren Christopher, Christian, Carleen, Victoria, Elizabeth, and several nieces and nephews. She's preceded by her siblings who had gone before her, and it's 11 of them. Martin, also known Blue, Cyril, also called Snatcher, Elsie, known as Mama, who was like her mother, Leslie, the sheriff, my cousin who I'm speaking about, Gerald, Auntie Esme, whose mouth was as hot as hers or even hotter, Uncle Ivan, the dread one, my mother, Eileen, Elaine, the most serious of the sisters. Uncle Malcolm, our favorite uncle, who taught us to fight, taught us to talk to ladies, right stroller. And this one that most people of us didn't know, his name was Arthur. He was Uncle Cyril's older brother. He passed away long before we were born. And just green we have standing. She was a great friend to the Bernards, the Powers, who were her neighbors forever. The relatives are numerous. The Liverpools, the guys of Tobago, the Asseveros, the Valentines of Arepo, where we have a whole clan up there, the Pamphils, the Wellingtons, the Boyce. The family is in around 5,000, if you don't believe me. We are numbering close to 5,000. But Auntie Mons, she used to call me her favorite nephew. We had that argument just a week ago. Don't call me that, because I don't want you to be putting me in that spot. She said, I don't care. You are my favorite nephew. I have a special note that came from the heart. I grew up with an abusive stepfather. And when we had to run away, my mother, I, and my sister and brother, Auntie Mons and Uncle Garfield were the first people to open their doors for us. They already had a family. And I used to admire Uncle Garfield, the only breadwinner of the time, working and making sure that we all were fed. We slept on the ground, but there was love. I will forever be grateful to her and Uncle Garfield for that. Because when we needed someone, they were there for us. And that's the hallmark of her and the Liverpool family by nature. Whenever there is need, Cousin Cynthia, Mona, and they will testify to what I'm saying. When there ever is need, we always step up to help. And she had to say we were the strongest family. So I coined the phrase, Liverpool strong, family strong. We never walk alone. Remember that. Thank you, and we continue.
Good morning, family and friends. I will be reading some passages sent by those who couldn't be here. To Mommy, from the moment I met you, I knew how great you were. From the moment I met you, I knew how amazing your spirit was. You accepted me, loved me, cared deeply for me, and in all those moments, I knew I gained another mother. Mommy, no words can express how much I loved you, and I still love you. You are nothing short of amazing. Thank you for letting me be another important piece in your life. Thank you for entering my life and being an important piece in mine. You have shared many memorable moments. I'm truly going to miss you, but like I gained another mother in life, I'm now gaining another angel. You are truly my favorite girl. Until we meet again, save me a dance down the road. I'll be waving my Panamanian flag high for you. I love you always, Monet McGee. I have known Monica since 1998 when her brother, Cyrasius Liverpool, and I bought our house in Cova where we settled and got married. Monica visited our home where she stayed with us for about a month. They were siblings close to each other, and she and I became close to each other. Monica came into our home about 2012, and she and Cyrasius and I went to Marriott Orlando for vacation, and we all returned to Trinidad, and Monica went back to the USA. She and I remained good. She and I remained good. Monica and I remained family even after Cyrasius passed in 2021. She came here to help keep me company, and we enjoyed each other's company. She will always be remembered. She was and always will be considered my sister. She's in a safe place. Amen. That's from Indra, Liverpool. I have known Monica for the past 25 years. She was not just a friend, but a confidant, a pillar of support, and a guiding light in times of darkness. Her heart knew no bounds, and her generosity flowed freely. As a mother, Monica epitomized selflessness, and devotion. Her love for her children and grandchildren knew no limits, and she poured every ounce guiding them. Monica possessed the rare gift of listening with her heart. Rest in peace, dear Monica. You have left this world, but your love will forever illuminate ours. That's from Portia McCarthy. Cousin Monica, we celebrate you. You were one of a kind, a woman with wisdom, resilience, integrity, and fine as heck. Moreover, one of the best caregivers you can ever find. From our very first encounter in Manhattan Playground, Monica and I hit it off. We then found we were related. Our relationship grew and we were close. She was my cousin and I was hers. She was also supportive of me and my family and young children. Monica was like my mother, aunt, big sister, all wrapped in one, and kinder than I had ever hoped for. We celebrated many great moments and had planned to make many more. Monica, you taught me a very valuable lesson. Enjoy life today and live life as you wish, because you never know what tomorrow brings. Rest in peace, my sweet cousin. You will never be forgotten. Your dearest cousin, Paula Garcia. Today we gather to mourn the loss of someone who was like a mother, a friend, a confidant, and guiding light in my life. Her passing has left a void that can never be filled, but her memory will forever be etched in my heart. I say that she was a friend, but that would be an understatement. She was a nurturer, a protector, a source of unwavering love and support. Monica showered me with affection and care, and I could always count on her to be there for me. The bond I shared with her was special and unique. She understood me in a way no one else did. She knew my likes, dislikes, my fears, my dreams, and she always knew how to make me feel better. She was my safe haven, my rock, my guiding light in the storm of the sea. Her presence in my life was a blessing, and I'm very grateful for every moment I spent with her. We laughed, we cried, we shared stories, and we created memories that I will cherish forever. She taught me a very valuable lesson, life lessons installed in me with strong morals and values. As we say goodbye, let us also remember her family and friends who are grieving her loss. May we offer them strength and comfort during this difficult time. Let us honor her memory by living our lives to the fullest, just as she did. For she knew of life and lived every moment with love, joy, and laughter. Let us also take a moment to reflect on our own lives and cherish the people we hold dear. Life is short, and we never know when it will be our turn to say goodbye. Let us make every moment count, just as our dear friend did. She may have left this world, but her spirit and love will live on in our hearts forever. Farewell, dear friend. Thank you for being a mother, a mentor, a friend. You have touched our lives in many ways that words cannot express. We will miss you dearly, but we find solace in knowing that you are now in a better place, watching over us with love and pride. Rest in peace, my dear friend. You will forever be remembered and loved. I will love you forever, Michelle Salazar. So that's all that I have for those that could not be here. Now I will open the floor up to anyone who has any words to say.
Trying to make it funny. I forgot the joke. Thanks to everybody for coming. All of you I know moms. Had a lot of ups and downs. She put a lot of people. Cooked some good food. Had some good kids. And a whole lot of people like yourself, family. Thank you for coming.
try to change the energy in the room for a minute. Acceptance. This woman accepted every woman. No judgment. If you really had the chance to actually be around her, it was her spirit, the energy that she projected on you. And meeting her for the first time, any one of you meeting her for the first time, it's like you really couldn't wait to actually have the opportunity to be around her again. That's just the feeling that, you know, that she put on you. So yeah, I'm laughing now because having this woman in the house was having this woman in the house was something different and special. Now, I don't know if any of y'all ever had the chance to come home tonight, put your laundry or dirty clothes in the bin, and be able to wake up to the same clean underclothes, socks, and everything where you can wear them the same day. I mean, the next day. That's what it was like with her in the house, washing, singing, dancing around, cracking jokes. And as I'm trying to hold it together up here, I ain't never seen this lady cry. Me personally, prideful, strong, and I know she had a lot of moments in the house, but I never seen her cry. So I think today we all need to go ahead and change that energy and celebrate in a happy, joyful way. Dig down and grab onto those strong, happy memories that mommy gave you, and just try to hold on to them and remember them forever. And I'm gonna keep it short. I think I kept it short.
Hello. So, hi, Cheyenne. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Camelia, also known as Millie, affectionately known by mommy as my next daughter. So many true things were said about mommy this morning already. So for the sake of not sounding repetitive, because all those things again are very true, I'm just gonna read the poem, Remember Me. Don't remember me with sadness. Don't remember me with tears. Remember all the laughter we've shared throughout the years. Now I am contented that my life, it was worthwhile. Knowing as I passed along the way, I made somebody smile. When you are walking down the street and you've got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only half a step behind. So please don't be unhappy just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I'm with you
each morning, noon, and night. Mommy, thank you for all the laughs, all the love, all the advice. You'll forever be missed by each and every one of us. Love you forever, my girl. One more thing I just wanted to say. Kamali, could you stand up? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Can you stand up and face everyone? Look at these shoes. They belong to Mommy. That's our fashionista.
If she was here right now, she would be having so much fun with that. I mean, she would be enjoying it. She couldn't wait for her to start walking, and the girl walks on her tippy toes, so we keep joking that she's gonna immediately know how to walk in high heels, you know, just like my mom. And so to see her having the time of her life, I think, is very much what my mom would want, you know, to be the mood and everything else. I'm gonna try my best not to become a crying, blubbering mess. I don't know how good I'll do, but I'm gonna try. My mother was 5 foot, and I'm being generous. And she was the tallest person when she walked in a room. Right? There's many versions of Miss Monica. There was tiny, tiny Miss Monica. There was voluptuous Miss Monica. My mom had some boobs on her. Oh my God. Everybody used to be talking about those boobs, and she got a riot out of, you know, my friends and everybody else coming to touch them. It was like a thing. I'd be like, why are y'all assaulting my mother and playing with her boobs? Like, who does that? That's not normal. But then it became normal. It became a thing. And she had something she used to brag about. We had a house in Trinidad that when they tried to knock it down to do some rebuilding, some of her, what was it? The heels of her shoe that were used in certain places, like, that's how, I mean, a stiletto wearing, high stepping, buying out every store in Port of Spain to Arima, the best clothes and the best hair. She had that dark and lovely box hair, you know? Yeah. And people would be like, oh, you know, Miss Monica was known for her curlers. I put a picture in there where she had the little thing over it, but my mother was known for her curlers because she took them curls out, run that feather comb through it. You know, that joint was bouncy. Okay? Couldn't tell her nothing with that bouncy hair. And she loved people. I remember having several different occasions as a child growing up being pissed off because I had to give up my bed for somebody. I was hot. And I remember thinking to myself, this is not a hotel, a revolving door. But what I did not understand as a child that I get now as an adult is she always found a way to let other people get a leg up. And Mario attested to that. A host of people are successful today because my mother allowed them a bed, a food, and everything else. I mean, I would be on fire. Like, how long this person staying? When they going home? Like, I want my bed back. But she said, no, this is what we have to do. Because when they immigrated to America, that's the services that were given to them. And so you have to pay that forward. There's a woman she met as a nanny from the Philippines, Miss Emma. Now, some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you may not. My mother had some of the longest running susus in the entire set of Brooklyn, okay? And a susu basically is like an in-house bank for people of the islands. And as a child, I would spend all my weekends listening for that doorbell to ring with people coming to drop off their money. And then on a Sunday evening, as her little banker assistant, I'm sitting there counting out money and giving to people. And she met this lady named Miss Emma. Miss Emma was from the Philippines. And Miss Emma was a big deal in the Philippines. She was a nurse and all this stuff like that. But when she came here, she did not have that opportunity, and so she was a nanny. My mother told her about the susu, and Miss Emma joined the susu. Miss Emma, I think I still have it, gave my mother a DVD, crying, screaming, and bawling, and thanking her for what she had done for her. And so when we came home and I played the DVD, this lady built a mini mansion back in the Philippines, fully stocked, everything you could possibly imagine. Bidets, high ceilings, I mean, a real mansion off of participating in my mother's susus. She was so thankful for her. And so that's the course of my mother's life. Just a bunch of good deeds, somewhere, somehow, to somebody. And I think my siblings and I do the same thing. Always trying to keep in mind somebody else and putting forth that good effort and trying to be helpful. And I hope she was proud of that. I think she was. Trying to figure out what I wanted to wear today. I had to dig back in my memories. I had a black and white pinstripe suit that she bought me in Knickerbocker Avenue. If you laughing, y'all already know. Every weekend, my mother, come on, we down in Knickerbocker, buying out all the people's stores. The people in the stores know her, Monica. And my mother had a lot of hairstyles during the year, but that blonde or that red, she looked Dominican, she looked Panamanian. So half of them thought she was Spanish. They'd be speaking Spanish to her, the whole situation. She loved that Knickerbocker. And she had bought me that because I had an interview. And so several times throughout the years, I had worn that. And she loved when I put it on. And so I decided that I would put on a pantsuit in honor of Miss Monica. And I got my blonde hair. Yes. This is Monica Blonde. And she had a signature red lip, Monica lip. I'm driving here and I'm thinking of all these things that did not make sense until now. And that's hard. So as I close out, I just want to say to everybody, you have to take the time while people are alive to give them their flowers. Yeah, you have to give people their flowers when they are alive. Even if it's not a big bouquet of roses, you got to put something out there. You got to let people know that they're cared for and they're loved and their mistakes are forgiven. Monet wrote something really beautiful that Dana read. Life is so fleeting. Monet was fighting to get a flight to get down here to be in support of me and to show her love for mommy. Her father was severely hurt, is currently hospitalized, and is not gonna make it. Life happens like this, so you have to be proactive and love when you can. And even if she cuss you out, cause boy, that lady had a mouth. She'll fire you up, but then she'll turn around and give you a plate of food. She couldn't help herself. And a heavy plate too. She'll mess around. Okay? Because Miss Monica, if you know like I know, we lived in, not the ghetto, the hood. And any of my friends coming over, they'd be like, what type of cup is that? Oh, that's an Irish drinking cup. Why do you guys have Irish drinking cups? Miss Monica, you know? I pulled up to VSU. They was like, yo, where did you get this? A white mink with black faces on it. I remember somebody came to help me get some stuff to go back to VSU, and they looked and they was like, yo, your mother flyer than I don't know what. Had all the old Louis, all that stuff like that. They was like, yo, Miss Monica is that deal. I was like, yes. She definitely was. She loved people. She loved to laugh. She loved to smile. She had a lot of jokes. And she had a lot of information. Had a lot of information in her head. So I wish I could say something in patois right now to end off, but I can't because I was a Saki fail. There you go. Okay. I don't know what that word meant, but hopefully it was not a cuss and it was something good. Because she was known for cussing, because I could have just said something wrong. So I think that's a curse. I think he set me up. Okay, and I took the bait. Okay. But certain memories will stick out in my head, and I'm thankful for the mother that I had. She was perfect in every way. Thank you all for coming here. Some of you from a lot of distances. I ain't gonna put her on blast, but I know somebody that drove 14 hours to be here. Okay? So I want to thank all of you guys for coming. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Joanne, Monica's niece. We spoke last week. She called me around 6 a.m. and she's like, hi Joey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, Auntie. How are you? She's like, I'm good. I'm so good. And then Alec called me Sunday and I'm still, I don't get it. You really got to give your flowers when you're alive. I love you guys. There's some family here that I haven't met in years. Lincoln, Sherwin. She was my mom too.
No, I'm sorry, but it's Auntie Monica. That's all we do is Auntie Monica. My mom, my aunt, and Auntie Monica. She's always been growing up in Arima. Every party, every fete, every get together. All eat, all they come lie down here I was joking with Mommy and Auntie Mona. Auntie Monica come up all the way to America. And she never forget where she's from. You understand? That's Auntie Monica. That's all I could say. Everything, our family is huge. And when you need information, Mommy and my aunt will say, all I ask, all I ask Auntie Monica, she go know. Any information. Who's that cousin? Ask Auntie Monica. She will tell you. Some pumpkin vine family, some cousin. Once it's a Liverpool is a family, just ask her, she will know. But it's always Auntie Monica. You know? That is hard. And even though I didn't see her every day, we always know Auntie Monica was there.
Always.
You know?
Always.
Since before I come to the States, Brooklyn, Auntie Monica, we go there. All of us, we come from foreign. We lay down on the floor. As a kid, when I was younger, I would always laugh. Interfering, everybody know, Bijan always interfering with stuff. And I went on the bed. And all the way from Trinidad she come, she had a posy under the bed. And she always used to, I was like, what is this? And that's when I was like, what the hell are you going to interfere under the bed for? You know? She's still Trinidadian to this day. And she, I got that posy right now. You see? No matter where she go. And I'll always remember that part because she's genuine. She never changed. She's always been, no matter how long she's been in the States, she never changed. You understand? I'm not going to miss her, really. I know she only used to call, I used to talk to her when Mommy was here. I said, you only call my mother here, you know, you don't talk to me like that. She's like, no, you're my nephew and stuff, you know? But Auntie Monica, that's all I can say, it's Auntie Monica. Mm-hmm.
I can say a lot, but she's always that energy, that fire, always with me. Love you more. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name's Kamali. Back in Brooklyn, Ma would spend a couple months with us at a time before she would go back to Trinidad and visit family and go back to Virginia. And I remember I was still in high school. I didn't have any piercings because I grew up Adventist. And I heard Ma say something like, oh, let me go put my earrings on so I don't look like a goat. And I said, Ma, if you look like a goat and you have actual, like, you can put them in, what do I look like? And she kind of gave that look like, girl, you look like a goat. And so I'm glad to show her that I don't look like a goat anymore. But, you know, those are just wonderful times when she would come. I got to see her roast bake from scratch. And, you know, actually get the coconut and blend everything, and I would just watch everything she do. So when I go back to Texas, I have to attempt it, you know.
Coconut bake.
It's going to be a mess. But, you know, just for the memory of it.
Yes, of course.
Hello, everybody. I'm the clown of the family. But I saw her. She came to see us in Jersey about a month ago.
Yeah, mid-February.
And she told me like a confession, and she said, don't tell Sherwin, Lincoln, or Bubby that I was her favorite son. And I promised I wouldn't say anything, but I'm telling you guys. But then I was in Virginia. I heard her say the same thing to Coop. She said the same thing to Kev. everyone thought they was her favorite son. Everyone. So I might have been, I might not have been, but I love her. I miss her. I'm gonna miss her. She was a very kind, sweet person, and that's what I hope you guys be well.
Okay, friends and family. So we're three sisters. I'm the eldest. Camelia is the second. Kamali's the baby. And our relationship with mommy, because that's what we call her, began in '94, before you were born. When they moved in next door, when Arlie and I met, it was love at first sight, and and it stayed that way ever since. So over the years, mommy just became mommy, second mom. And there's a lot of wonderful memories. I mean, I could probably write a book, to be honest with you, but some of my favorite ones are sitting in the kitchen getting my hair pressed with the hot comb whenever I had a picture day or I just wanted to look special. She would never say no. She was never too tired for me. I remember, as Arlie talked about Knickerbocker, I'm like, I know Knickerbocker. I've been down there. Mommy took me to get my dress for high school graduation, and then she hemmed it because she had skills. Mommy is granny to my three children, and so she's a major part of my life. And this is she is dear to my heart and always will be. And I'm very grateful to her and Daddy for giving me this extended part of my family in my Arlie and Bubby and the kids, and of course my big brothers, Sherwin and Lincoln. So, Mommy, we love you, and we'll be sharing plenty of memories and laughs over the years about you, and just honoring you always. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I wasn't going to do this, but Ma was by us last month. As we said, everyone knows that she was very, very funny. And we picked her up from by Aisha and she said, daughter-in-law, I want to go get my hair done. I got to get my nails done. I got to get my toes. And I'm like, I made the appointment already. So when we got there, the woman, she came out on a Sunday to do Ma's hair. And she said, I'm only going to do this because it's her. So Ma got her hair done, and there was a pep in her step. When she was done, that was the Sunday. So the Monday, she's like, when am I going to get my toes done? So I said, it's really cold outside. Lance, well, you all know him as Lincoln, I call him Lance. He was not at the house, so I said, you have to wait till he comes back. She said, well, I could go for myself. I said, Ma, you cannot walk outside. It's really cold. Well, you could go with me. I said, Ma, it's freezing because I know we don't want her to walk like that. It was really bad. She said, well, you see how small I got? I got to get some panties because I don't have what I have. It's falling off for me, you know. I said, okay. So I called him. I said, can you come? Because she is like over and over. Where is he? What is the time? And so he came. She went and she got her toes done. And of course, there's this store close to us. Every time she comes, that's where she wants to be. And she's picking up all kind of stuff, things that she don't need. Because Alec is like, why did she buy all these things? And she's like, I don't care. That's what I need. But the thing is, she went to the store. Lance had to go with her. And he video called me. He showed me, look, this is the shopping cart. This is all the clothes. What is she doing with this? And so he's telling her, Ma, you don't need all these things. She said, I'm just going to be a little rich. She said, all my underwear is falling off my ass. She said, I need to get some new ones. So he said, well, Alec is going to tell you you don't need it. She said, I could kiss my. So we, yeah. So it was so funny, But she was so happy that she did that, and I'm really glad that we were able to take her and get those things, and because those were the things that she loved, and um, we were playing the night too when they came over, and we stayed there till like 4 o'clock in the morning, talking and laughing, just the four of us. I had to go to work the next morning, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like 3 hours. How am I going to do this? But I didn't mind. Um, she said to me, we were playing some voice notes the other day, I think it was this week, right? I didn't realize there were some messages, and one of them, she's like, daughter-in-law, you're not answering me. Anyway, this is your mother-in-law calling. I want him to call me and call me now. Then she would call again, Mish, and then all of a sudden she would say, part of my message on my voice note says, I'll be sure to get back to you. She said, Mish, I know you're not going to get back to me. I'm like, I said, wait, that's what she said? And then she's like, I love you, right? She said, listen. She said, a lot of people call me Mons. Everybody calls me Monica, Ma. She said, I want you to call me Ma. She said, because I'm your mother. She took my daughters. She said, I'm your grandmother. My daughters lost their grandmother when they were well, Janique doesn't know her grandmother at all. And she told them, she said, I'm your grandmother now, and Janique and her, they would bond. Well, I always say I have a mad one and a crazy one, and, she didn't care. She really loved each of them. All our friends love Ma. Everyone who met her, the video, oh, look at it. That's my best friend. And he would just pull her, and he was like, Mom, come on, let's dance, and everybody welcomed her. We go to this place to get soup by Sham. She would go there. That day we took her to the store. Well, when we were by Sham that day, Ma wanted the soup. She drinking a beer, and she cussing you in the next tongue, So everybody who met her knew that, as everyone says, she was, and to me, she is the life of the party. She loved everyone that she came in contact with. Oh my God, there was some stories she told to our friends Avalon and Omar. I can't say it here, but they were freaking out with the things that with Uncle Harold. What happened to him when something bit him some years ago when he was a little boy, and what she did. Okay. And they looked at her like, so they said, Lance, he said, that's how my mother is. He said, she tells you like it is. She don't hold nothing back. She would say it like it is. So they looked at him and they were like, oh, so that's why you're that way, But she told them things, and they were like, wait, this is your mom? She said, she loved with her whole heart, with her passion. She was passionate about everything. She loved people. Everybody, as it was stated earlier on, that everybody was her son and her daughter. And today, I believe how everything went today, it was just about celebrating her. With Cheyenne just telling everyone hi. And just, the energy here today is what represents who she is. So today, let's just continue to celebrate her.
Morning, afternoon, everyone. I met Mom in America, but my mom and Mom's, which is Monica, grew up together. And when I met her, we just, I don't know what it was, but it was just like that bond. I don't know, like a mother, because my mom was in Trinidad at the time. So I met her in America, and I think she kind of replaced her. And then my mom passed away. And it's like I held on to her more, for that comfort and that love.
And I listened to everyone here, and they said the same thing. She was a comforter, just like the Lord, and we all need that person sometimes to comfort us. And I am grateful for God for putting her in my life. And I just want to say thank you to the family for giving me this opportunity to come and, just see her. It doesn't matter how, but just to see her again. And I'm going to try to be, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to try. I got a lot of lessons from her, and I'm going to try to be like her more now that she's not here. So that is my takeaway from knowing this lady and spending time with her. And I just want to say thank you, and let's remember her by trying to be like her.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John McBride. Most of you have seen me around here, but none of you actually know who I am. I know this for a fact, because when I come, everybody kind of goes like this, like, who's he? Why is he here? I'm going to give the prayer, but before I do so, I'm going to give you a little background on how I came to be a part of this whole congregation of family members. I had come to meet Arlette and Bubby because I was a contractor. I own a construction management company who invests in real estate today. But just before that, I had come home from prison. I was affectionately called a gangster. A real one, not the fake ones, not the little ones, a real one. The big ones. Yeah. So I was in their house. They were telling me about some problem they had, and the gentleman that introduced me to them, I think he was there, maybe he wasn't. I can't remember where Eric was at the time. And he made a comment about me, and you know how if everybody's looking at the monitor here, and someone's talking, and they make a comment that's kind of odd, you go like this, and they turn back and look. And so Eric made a comment about me, and while they were looking at the problem, Mommy, Bubby, Arlette went. Because he said, oh yeah, John just came home from prison. And they were like, what? Huh? Because I may not appear like that, based on how I speak or what have you. So Mommy kind of kind of stood back a little bit and was like, oh, okay. So I'm Jamaican, by the way. He's a yard man still, So from that moment, and this is a very subtle thing. This is a very subtle thing, because you can be easily defined by a singular moment in your life that doesn't always hold true for who you actually are. And as a result of that, when they became aware of where I had just come from within it was about a year that I had come home, there was the subtle acknowledgement of like, okay, so, and life continued on. It was a moment of acceptance. And when you go through different life challenges, it doesn't have to be a prison experience, but when you go through different life challenges and you walk back into functioning families, you don't always get the benefit of the doubt. Some people clutch their purse and think that something bad's going to happen, but none of that. My point here is that in a moment of acceptance, it changes the trajectory of your life. It makes possibilities possible again. It gives you opportunity that you thought was taken away from you by your own hand. Nobody put me there. I put myself there. I mean, I did what I did. I did the time, so I'm okay with that. And my judge said I actually had no victims, which is another issue one day. But so as a result of that, when they would call me, I would go and I would sit and talk with mommy all the time. And some of you may have heard her refer to me as her big son. You know, here, you know, I know that she has natural sons, but I became her big son. He might be the favorite, but trust and believe I'm the big one. So over the course of time, I've done a lot of different things, spent a lot of time with them. But in my relationship with mommy, I became her friend. Someone that she could talk to about how she was feeling in moments when maybe she didn't call one of you all, or I was more convenient. I would bring her food from time to time. Or when she was in New Jersey or New York or Trinidad, she would call me on the phone and go, John, I need a little money. And I would wire her some money or something like that. Or I would come and sit and talk with her on a random day. The night that Arlette called to let us know that she had passed, we had just come back from Miami. You know, spring break, went on vacation or what have you, and my wife and my family. And when Arlette, as soon as the phone rang and I saw who it was, I knew what the circumstance was. And I didn't want her to say it because I didn't want that to be the case. And there's a special, for me, there's a special, kind of a deeper backstory. And that was, I wasn't raised by my mom. I haven't actually seen my natural mother in, I want to say, 35, 40 years. So when she received me after having come home from living hell to be embraced in that way, that lifted something off of me that you all probably understand. So, you know, this morning, and I don't know why, I have not done this in I don't know decades. I have a brother. Haven't seen him in God knows whatever, but he has a Facebook. I don't do Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And I looked on his Facebook and to see if he had a picture of my natural mother, because I haven't seen her. And in large part, and I mean this, my mother is probably 82 or 83 now. My natural mother and she look alike. I mean, not exactly, but I was this morning, in fact, I've been sitting in that seat looking at the pictures of my natural mother versus Monica, because she, unbeknownst to all of you, became literally my mother, someone that I would call and talk to. And I'm busy all the time. They can tell you I'm always on the go, always going somewhere, got stuff to do. But if she called me, my truck did a U-turn. I was on the way to address that. Now, as I said, that, you know, all of us have gone through different things in life, you know, and to see someone's grace, because when I came home again, I was ordained as a pastor. Here in Suffolk, I was a pastor of a church here for 5 years. Prior to going away, I was a stockbroker. I worked on Wall Street, and I advised pastors and churches all over the country, so it wasn't a stretch for that to occur. Well, in the capacity for people to have a second chance or a leg up or an opportunity or a floor to sleep on, or food, a plate of food, or to have your hair pressed, or to have her hem your dress, or whatever, there is a spiritual reason why these things occur. And it's about this concept in the biblical text. It's about grafting. It's where someone who is not born into something is grafted into something that will give them life. The Bible uses the olive tree branch as the example of that, where God took and cut the Jews away to make it possible to graft in Gentiles, which would be all of us. If we were not grafted in by Christ to the Father, there would be no potential for salvation of our soul based upon their religion. The beautiful thing about being grafted in is that the branch does nothing for the root. The root supports the branch. Hence, when I was grafted into Monica as my mother, I did literally nothing for her. Do you understand me? It was she who poured into me. You can't, I'm using my life, and it's a hard thing to talk about yourself when you are standing and kneeling before someone as great as this. But there's no way you can, if you cannot admit to yourself what you needed from somebody and can't receive it, and as Arlette just said, give them their flowers. This goes beyond flowers. We owe aspects of our life to people like this, who give you life when everything is going against you. When the odds are stacked up, so they're so high that you don't have the faith or the hope that you will ever recover from that. This is probably, and as a pastor, let me make this clear. I have buried people. I have done it for children, old folks, drug dealers, gang members. I have been flown to cities to do burials for folks that the churches wouldn't accept them because they weren't local members or whatever. And I knew someone in the family, and they asked me if I would come and do it. And the celebration of life is not in just the moment, but as this young lady said, now is the moment where a person has to make the decision. And there's another aspect of the Bible, and there's a scripture in Ephesians that says, choose ye this day where you stand. If you be for Baal, be for Baal, but if you be for the living God, be for that. Now, check this out. The spirit of a person is God living through them. That's the source of life. She never once talked to me about God. She didn't have to. She lived it out every second that I was with her. She never once preached to me about what I did or shouldn't do or maybe could do. She lived it out, and it affected me. I came to see them maybe 3 or 4 weeks before I went on vacation, and I brought my 11-year-old son, and Izzy was just punching him, just jumping on him, playing Spider-Man and all that. And I know that you all spend more intimate time with them than I do. But when we got up, she walked me to the door, and she took my hand. She was standing right next to me like this. She took my hand and she said, I just need to see you more often. Will you come back and see me next week? Just call me up and let me know you're okay. I said, Mommy, I got you. I'll be back. Don't worry. Hence, get busy again, go to Miami, get the phone call. He sent me a text the next day, saying, let's just, wants to take a minute, and I said, okay. I went to work, and I was sitting in my truck, and I couldn't get out. I didn't know what to do because I have never felt so numb in my life because of what I'm going to miss, what I'm going to need, what I probably did 100% of the things I have ever done wrong in my life because that was missing. the love, the respect, the humbling, the grace, the mercy, the prayers. Only God can position people like this on this planet to affect. He said you have a family of 5,000. Nah, you probably got 50, 60,000 people in your family and don't know it because of this woman's spirit, her power. And here's the crazy part. My natural mother's barely 5 foot tall. So I wanted to share that because it's no different than the experience than any of us have had with her for whatever reason, by virtue of being a neighbor, a nephew, a cousin, a friend, have known her through Susu or whatever. It makes no difference how you come into contact or how you came into contact with her. The effect was the same. She poured life into everybody that she met, and everybody was affected by her. And I am so thankful for God that she became a mother to me, that you all became extended family, even though you didn't know who I was. And I will be eternally grateful. And I'm and as difficult as it was to hear, I, for one, am at absolute peace about her life and the fact that she has gone on to be with the Lord, because I would think there is no better place for her at this moment than to be there, reunited with all of her extended family and waiting upon each and every one of us to come through. So having said that, I thank you for giving me my couple of minutes to share this, because I really have been walking around, like all of you probably, just wondering like how to express the gratitude for this woman who was a giant of a human being. All right, thank you. So with that, they asked me to give a prayer for this and we can come to a conclusion. So if you all bow your heads, I'll do my best. Dear Heavenly Father, we all come to you broken, humbled, and in need of your grace and mercy. And we are so thankful for the life that was represented in this woman, in this mother, in this auntie, in this friend, in this counselor, in this advisor. We recognize that your spirit moved through her in the most mighty way to affect us all. It granted us life and insight, correction and wisdom, grace and mercy. It lifted each of us up in our own individual way that was needed and expected, that could only come through the hand of someone who was acceptable in your sight, whose methodology we may not have understood, whose timing was always perfect, whose touch was always tender but forceful, whose vision was clearer than our sight. We thank God for her life. We thank God for her spirit. We thank God that you gave her to us for whatever period of time we came to know her, by whatever means we came to be in her presence. We thank God that you have received her spirit and that you have given her the eternal rest that she has so richly earned through her service to all that she came in contact with. There has been no finer example of a mother, a wife, a friend, a neighbor, whether she was the life of the party or the wrath of God himself. We will all miss and never forget Mommy, Auntie, Nana, Miss Monica Assevero. And we say this proudly and with all humility. In Jesus' name, amen, and amen. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all. And the repast is literally on site. It's a building to the side. Aisha's walking out just to make sure that everything's ready to go. And so we can all just start transitioning back over. We're going to open the casket for one more round of anybody coming to say their goodbyes. And then we can head over. All right? Thank you. Oh, my goodness. I almost forgot. Well, I can tell everybody later. It's all right.